Hey everybody, my name's Chad, and this is another edition of Ask Chad, where you guys get to submit questions to me, and I do my best to answer them. Now today, my first question I got was, Chad, what's your favorite Easter candy? It's a great question. I love pretty much all Easter candy, but my favorite is definitely going to be the Cadbury eggs. You know, the chocolate eggs with the little gooey center in it? Those are really good. But you didn't ask, but I'm just going to go ahead and tell you my least favorite Easter candy. And it would have to be these. No, I know. Stop yelling at me. They're gross. It's basically marshmallow dipped in a granulated kind of sand-like sugar, and they just taste like I'm eating the beach. And if that's not bad enough, the flavors that they're coming out with is just appalling. Blue, birthday cake, cotton candy, watermelon, and I'm pretty sure I saw French onion the other day. These are all disgusting. But it does open up a really interesting question. What happens to a marshmallow peep when you put it into the microwave? Let's see here. Get a whole sleeve of these things. Please don't put us in the microwave. Yeah, that's happening. So put these in here. And now we wait. Kind of anticlimactic. Oh. Whoa! They're getting huge! It's like me after the quarantine. They gained the quarantine 15. And that's what happens to marshmallow peeps. Next question I have is, Chad, do you have a pet? Yes, I do. This is my daughter's pet bunny, Mocha. Yep. She's a mini lop. And if I'm just being really honest, I find that I spend the most time with the bunny rabbit. But what I'd love to know is, what kind of pets do you have? Leave comments down below of what kind of pets you guys have. Next question I got is, Chad, what's your favorite breakfast food? Easy one. Pop-Tarts.
What decisions did you make in life that have led up to the point that you're eating Pop-Tarts for breakfast?
I love Pop-Tarts. Who doesn't love Pop-Tarts? It's like God's perfect food. So I love Pop-Tarts. Do you love Pop-Tarts? If so, leave down in the below the comments your favorite kind of Pop-Tart. And if you give us a reason why you need Pop-Tarts to survive the quarantine, we will choose one of you to have an entire case of Pop-Tarts sent to your house. But you gotta leave comments, and we'll pick one kid to get Pop-Tarts. Next question I got was, Chad, when you get to heaven, what is one question you would ask God? I have a lot of questions for God, like, why are the Kardashians popular?
Why would you say that?
But I would say the biggest question I really want to ask is, I kind of want to know if there's aliens. Because, like, the universe is kind of a big place, and God made it all. And I can't help but feel like he made a really, really, really big house, and only one room has, like, life in it. And I can't help but wonder, is someone else staying in any of the other rooms? So that's probably the question I would ask God is, like, are there aliens? And if he said no, I'd be like, oh, that's kind of a bummer. But if he said there was, I'd be like, cool, can I meet them? Next question I got is, Chad, how do I grow my faith in this season of quarantine? I would probably start out by saying, first thing you want to do is build a relationship with God. And I don't think there's a perfect science to that, but I do think that it's silly to expect any relationship is going to grow when you don't spend any time talking to that person. So if you have never spent time with God every day, try it for 1 week. Spend a little bit of time just talking to God. Like, it can be really simple prayers of, like, God, here's how my day is going. And then read a little bit of the Bible. Get the YouVersion app and just get a reading plan that sounds cool and do that. But then the whole faith thing, I think our faith grows when it's challenged and when it's tested. You ever see like a big tree? Those trees grew big not because they dealt with really, really easy, sunny weather. Those trees grew really, really big and strong because they withstood storm after storm after storm. And the same thing is true with our faith. Our faith is grown when it's challenged, when it's tested, when it's questioned. And I gotta promise you guys, a lot of you are going through some real faith challenging things as we go through this quarantine time. And I'm disappointed that we have to go through this, but I'd be lying if I didn't say that I was a little excited about some of you guys coming out of this time with this gargantuan faith. And I'm almost envious, and I want to be able to do the same as well. So that's what I would say, is spend time with God and then look for God in the challenges of life and let God kind of navigate you through those. Next question I got was, Chad, how do I avoid temptation during the quarantine? That's a great question. I don't know. I don't have a great answer for that one because, to be honest, I don't know if we can ever truly avoid all temptation. I think we can make it better. I think we can avoid having certain things in our life that we know creates temptation for us. So, for instance, if your cell phone is a temptation for you after hours, then I would say the best thing in the world to do is prepare for temptation when you're strong. So I'm just going to use the cell phone example, but fill in the blank for whatever temptation you have. You don't get ready for battle when the battle starts waging. You got to get ready for battle before the battle begins. So if your cell phone is a problem for you at night, then in the middle of the morning, when you're eating your cornflakes or your Pop-Tarts, talk to your parents then and say like, hey, by the way, the cell phone kinda is not great for me at night. Can I go ahead and leave it in your room? And just leave it in your parents' room. And that's how you avoid temptation, is try to get ready for temptation when you're feeling strong. Let me read you this passage. In Matthew 26:41, it says, watch and pray so that you will not fall into temptation. The spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. Notice it says watch and pray. It doesn't just say like pray about temptation and then go about your day. It says watch and pray. So you got to be watching out and you got to be shrewd, because if you don't, temptation will just overtake you and you won't even know what happened. Well, that's all I got for you guys. What I'd love for you to do is submit some more questions to us. Leave some comments, ask your questions. We'll ask for more questions. But next week, I'll have a whole nother batch of questions that you asked. I'll give you some more answers, and we'll keep doing this quarantine together, because remember, you are not alone. We're all in this freaking together, and we'll get through it together, and eventually we'll all be back together, and we can hang out and be a family once again. All right, we love you guys, and we'll be praying for you. Have a great week.